Welcome to Commander Pop Culture, a place to gather magical information with some laughs, might I add. Alright everyone, gonna be playing Hylda. I'm pretty excited. I got a great hand. Since I don't have any tap effects in my opening hand, I might as well Mystic Remora first. This might be a tough game. Opening hand, Mana Crypt and Wooded Foothills. My deck on Moto is worth $38. Basically, Mana Crypt is the entire deck price.
Bigger money!
Awesome.
I think I'll be going after that guy. Might be trying to pub stomp. I did draw Sunstrike Legionnaire. I have something to tap and get my triggers with. Same with Scepter of Dominance. Besides the guy that's played 2 cards that's worth my entire deck, he's playing a Marion Pippin deck. The middle player's playing Edgar Markov, and the far left player's playing Vadrik. The Vadrik and the Edgar Markov players, those are pretty strong decks. That should be interesting. I should be a little worried mid to late game about these two and what they can do. The guy that's playing Marion Pippin, they might have the ire of the other 2 players as well. They might be focused. It's hard to compete even if you're playing against 3 opponents that are just treating you like an archenemy from turn 1. And I feel like that's going to happen for them. If they were in any other colors, they might be able to do it. They're missing out on blue, so that makes me feel a little bit better about competing with them. Lobelia exiled a card from each of us. If they sack an artifact with her, this person can play a card. Maybe I'll keep Mystic Remora one more turn, play one of my 2 drops. Pippin for 1 mana can make a food token. She combos nicely with Lobelia. Just fodder for her sacrifice ability. If Pippin can sack 4 foods, he gets an overrun effect. I imagine he hits me because I have a Mystic Remora and a Soul Ring in play. We did draw a 3rd land. Maybe I play Court Street Denizen, tap everyone's stuff down. Just wanted to get my mana efficiency. I have 2 creatures that tap things down, but they'll have Summoning Sickness. Maybe I'm sacrificing tempo, but not playing those first. I feel like the Court Street Denizen has a better explosive play to it. This guy's kind of cool. Balmor, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, creatures control get +1/+0 and trample 10 in a turn. That's really good. In the Vadrik deck, Vadrik cares about only his power. He casts an instant sorcery, makes his whole board bigger, and at the same time reduces the cost of your spells when Vadrik's in play. Vampire player's playing Drana. She's really good. To size up the whole board. Because Drana has first strike, if he goes to combat with everything, and the Drana will hit first, and then put the +1/+1 counters on his board before the other vampires could deal damage. They get a +1/+1 counter put on them. Everybody's having a really good start. The nice thing though, when I play my commander, I'll have enough to tap 1 thing down unless I draw another land and make at least 1 body. Though the following turn, I should be able to tap everything down and make a ton of 4/4 bodies. Might make this vampire player a little uneasy. We'll show him who the real, I guess, token generator is.
Now that is a challenge. That is a challenge.
He's got it nicely though. He could do it from the command zone. It's very low-hanging fruit for that person. I do require a little bit of work. I guess the Marion Pippin deck also makes a fair amount of bodies. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enter their battlefield, they create a 1/1 soldier creature for their overrun effects. I do have a Winds of Abandon in my hand, so I can answer all of this without losing anything on my board. So I might take a chunk of life, and that's okay. This guy's playing Cauldron Familiar. That's kind of concerning. They're in the colors for doing a couple of infinites. I have to be kind of weary about that. Since they already showed me a lot of like money in their deck, it wouldn't surprise me to expect infinite combos in this deck. I have infinite combos in my deck, but it's a little harder to pull off consistently because of the budget that I've restrained myself to. And most of my combos that are infinite rely on Intruder Alarm. I only have 1 way to tutor it in this deck. The ways that he could kill us, if he finds the 2-drop Samwise, or if he gets Mirkwood Bats, potentially Seal Our Fates. Sacking a food, getting a card. Oh, he's draining us. Okay. Not going to pay the 3 for Mystic. Got too much action to do here. I did get Ministereth. Dang. This is a tapped land unless I have a legendary creature, which I won't. I have to play this first in order for this to come in tapped, and by then the triggers for Court Street Denizen are over. Can't get both. It doesn't really matter what I tap down. They're going to get to untap it anyways. Yeah, we'll just make a body for now. A little clunky. If this was an untapped land and I didn't require me to have a legendary creature play, I would have played it first and got 2 4/4s. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. All they did was level up their wizard class. Oh, Kalidas. That's a pretty good hoser. Splitting up the level a little bit. I honestly would have just sent it all this way. Wouldn't have blocked with anything. Taxes the life a little bit. Oh, Damory's Call. whatever problem he's got. He probably wants to get rid of this Kalitas so he could do the combo and try and kill us. They got a Merc with bats, so they're pretty close to killing us. I did get a path, so I can break up the combo even more. I don't have to commit to Winds of Abandon because I could pick up 2 pieces with this overload from this combo player. I think it's just time to do it. Could all get their basics. I'll just hit the guy with all the infinite combos in their deck and with more money than my deck has by a significant margin. It looks cool. Gets to make a 1/1 vampire, and then he did do the triggers wrong. If he put the token in first, it would have also gotten the +1/+1 counter from this. The stack works in the top-down fashion, so if he clicked on the Markov trigger first, it would have went on the bottom, and then the Maverin trigger here would have made the 1/1 to see the Markov trigger. But nonetheless, he's still got a bunch of scary stuff in play. Already has a wide board after resetting him, but I'm about to have a wide board too. By the way, the only time it's more beneficial not to make a 4/4 is very specific scenarios. So like, I only want to put +1/+1 counters on my stuff when I have more than 4 bodies in play, because then I generate more power with the +1/+1 counter. In certain situations, I'd rather scry 2 and draw, and that depends on if I'm looking for Approach of the Second Sun or if I need to find an answer to something particularly scary. I've got a lot of answers in my hand, so I'm not desperate to be looking. Man, I would have saw a lot of cards with Ghostly Pilfer if I had it in play before all these commanders hit the table. What can you do? I definitely felt like I had to do that Winds of Abandon, and I probably couldn't afford to wait much longer with that. When it enters, he could sack food token to exile something. He didn't have one, so didn't happen. Vampiric Tutoring. I imagine he gets a massive like card advantage piece like Bolas' Citadel. Although he's at 19 life, so maybe he doesn't do that. He's short on cards, so I imagine it's either to win the game or refill his hand. And he does require multiple pieces to win at this point. I don't think it's going to be a combo card unless he just miraculously has a piece in his hand as well. What I can do is tap down his board and have this vampire player do my bidding. We could finish him off on this revolution of the table, actually. Ancient Den. All right. Let's just play the Sunstrike Legionnaire and go down the line. Gonna make the 4/4, and we're just gonna keep on doing this. It's a sweet combo. The Sunstrike Legionnaire untaps itself every time a CMC comes in that's 3 or less. My tokens don't have a CMC, so it keeps happening. I have 2 mana left up. I think I'll put the +1/+1 counter on all my stuff and stop right here, have some interaction left up. This is 12 damage, so it puts him down to 5. Okay, combo player is gone. Rage quit. Can't handle the budget. Celestis is pretty good in his deck. He can manipulate the day and night mechanic, so Vadrik gets bigger faster. My board's pretty scary though. I have 2 ways to tap people's stuff down and make 4/4s. Getting some credit from the other 2 players for wrecking that guy. Thanks, you make me nice and warm and fuzzy inside. The deck is doing what it's supposed to be doing. You have really explosive plays, and then you have some really like grindy gameplay with the Scepter Dominance kind of stuff. Lets you tap any permanent. The dream is I get some like Unwinding Clock in play, and I can do that on everyone's turn. The other folks are saying, if you see a game that's low tier, don't bring your credit card. I've always said that was the most powerful Magic card, i.e. the credit card. That's pretty funny. Cruel Celebrant's a pretty safe card for him. I think a lot of things are going to start to be dying, although I could effectively tap down his board and get in for a nice chunk of damage on my next coming turn. I don't know how much I could tap down, but I imagine a fair amount with Sunstrike Legionnaire and my Court Street Denizen. I could probably tap down everything, actually. As long as I have mana to feed into Hylda, I can do it. He has 9 bodies in play, and then I imagine he swings with Edgar Markov here because he wants that trigger to make everything a little bit bigger. I'll probably path this Cruel Celebrant because I don't want them to be gaining life and draining us. Vampire tokens have First Strike. I probably should have did this pre-combat so I could have denied him some of this. I can kill off one of his Anthem effects so he trades improfitably. I kind of like that. Let's take away the thing that's giving First Strike. Does that First Strike, so never mind. I think I just take 7 here. I'll crack him back. Make a 4/4. Okay, so now I've officially tapped everything down, so now I'm just going to size everything up. I'm going to try and kill this vampire player right here. This is lethal to just one person, just 1 extra, and I'll send this over here. I'll let the Vadrik player untap and see if he could finish this off. Alright, let's see if he could do it. Bring it on! It's very possible he could cast a spell infinitely if he finds a way to make a mana and it has something with like buyback. Stormkiln Artist or Burgi. That would be enough. Brass's Bounty makes a bunch of treasure. He has exactly enough mana for Cyclonic Rift. So I'll probably go to combat first, see what happens before I dedicate doing anything else. Killed my Court Street Denizen. It's not enough because my Sunstrike Legionnaire gets there. I could just play a new body and untap him though. He souped up Vadrik to make it stronger. Reduce the cost of his next spell. Crackle with Power. Killed off my Sunstrike Legionnaire and my commander. That's alright. Still in a position where he has to block. I don't think it's enough either. He's at 18 life. He was looking for Blasphemous Axe. Did not get it. He gave me the GGs, so I think I got the victory here. You might just play it out, let me swing in for lethal. Nope, he's just surrendering. Alright, I'll give it to the Vadrik player. I just beat 2 CDH decks with my $38 deck. And the Vadrik player, they didn't do anything to mess with the board until the very end when it was just him and I, so you could just say that was all me. Things that I made different. I added Unwinding Clock, and I re-put in the Scepter of Dominance, the Icebind Pillar, and the reason why I did that is because I realized that a lot of my mana dorks that I was already playing for Intruder Alarm were also artifacts. I wanted as many untapping my stuff effects as I can, and Unwinding Clock fits that just fine. You didn't get to see me play it, but you got to see me do probably one of the most broken things that this deck can do, which is make a 4/4 and just do that as many times as I have mana. The Court Street Denizen is an A-lister in this deck. The other one that's really good is Elvish Mariner. It lets you scry and then tap something. You get in a loop with Hylda and you could scry and draw as many cards as you have mana to pay into her. That's pretty darn good. My Sunstrike Legionnaire is also one of those cards that acts like my Street Denizen, where it taps something down, untaps when I make a 4/4, so on and so forth. And that's the deck. I hope you all enjoyed that gameplay. I have some good news. I got into a bachelor's program for nursing specifically, and it's a program where it's all online and it's a flex schedule, so I can do it whenever I want. The rub is I want to finish it in under a year, so that means I'll be making less content for all of you, but there are some things I still want to honor. I'm going to cover the Doctor Who set because I said I would, and then I'm going to play at least 12 decks without a budget constraint, the Commander Legends, and these decks that I'm featuring for Wilds of Eldraine, mostly because
I'm a man of my word.
The nice thing about Doctor Who is that after I cover the spoiler season, I'll have some downtime because the set isn't releasing on Moto, which is how I feature cards on the channel. It'll be a nice break until the next spoiler season starts up for the Return to Ixalan. Thus, I'll have time to honor the things that I mentioned earlier. That's all I wanted to share with all of you. I want to especially thank all my subscribers and my viewers. You guys have provided me an outlet for a lot of sleepless nights, and I appreciate that. Even though now I'll be diverting most of my attention to education, I won't forget you guys, and I'm not going to let the channel die. I'm going to at least upload something weekly to honor my subscribers, and I guess continue to be thankful for everything you've done for me. That's all I got to say. So everyone, have a good night. Bye.